Honourable Speaker, before I give my speech, I would want to dedicate my soul and spirit to the young ones who lost their lives, to the parents, to the relatives, and the entire family, because it is the record that this country lost lives in the last few years, in a few days, out of the protests that were brought by our sons and daughters. Honourable Speaker, I want to convey my gratitude and greetings from Tharaka-Nithi to the majority leader of this House, to Senior Kalwale, to Sifuna, because I've received several messages, even to you, Honourable Speaker, because I've received several messages and calls from people from Tharaka-Nithi, congratulating each one of you for fighting it very necessary to make sure that we have a counter address, because the Senate now is a slave for this country. We have been celebrated across the board, and people are saying this is the Senate that we really voted for as per the Constitution. We have really redeemed ourselves, and we have restored our sanity as a House. Honourable Speaker, I belong to Kenya Kwanza government, having been elected Senator for Tharaka-Nithi by majority votes in the last elections. Honourable Speaker, I'm happy that this House has disregarded party affiliations and decided to confront issues without having to say you come from Kenya Kwanza or Azimio for that matter. And that is patriotism, Honourable Speaker. That is being patriotic, because as quite a number of speakers have just said, we do not have any other country other than Kenya. Honourable Speaker, do you protect me from the leadership? I can see Medhu is making a lot of noise, maybe from some quarters, Honourable Speaker.
Order, Senator for Laikipia. Resume your seat. Proceed, Senator More Fire.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for that. You know, Honourable Speaker, this government came into being through some very common phrases. I remember we went around the country, and our common phrase was bottom up, the hustlers. That's captioned the likes of Mama Mbogas, the border borders, the Mokokoteni, the wheelbarrow pushers, and any other common person for that matter. And we rode on that spirit, and we were voted enormously for those phrases. Honourable Speaker, I remember the vows and the promises that we made. Within 100 days, we shall have done this and that. Within 3 months, we shall have done this and that. But I'm very sure somebody who is watching me from Tharaka-Nithi, from Ramu, from any part of this country would want to agree with me. We have not been very faithful to those vows and promises. We might have been distracted maybe by some economic issues or policies, but that's not, and that is not and will not be the expectations of the nation. It could be too early, but of course the promises were in the next 100 days, in the next 3 months, we shall have this and that and that. Honourable Speaker, we made some confessions. We made some promises that this government will be comprised of Mama Mbogas, the young people, border, and it was a common phrase, not for, exactly for the president, for anybody. That was the talk of Kenya Kwanza. Honourable Speaker, what we have seen in return is total contrast to what the promises were. The boys that are routing today in the streets, in the campaigns, we expected them to be in positions. But in return, Honourable Speaker, we have witnessed and we have seen some recycled corrupt faces in this government. Those people with indented history of corruption, some serious moral practices here and there, those are the people who are running the government. We have seen people carrying sacks of money in functions in Harambes, out of cronyism, out of tribalism. And it's sad, Honorable Speaker, I happen to serve in the Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunities, where my senior Senator Chuta chairs. It is very saddening, Honorable Speaker, to find that in this country, 2 tribes carry 3/4 of the entire public service or the workforce at the expense of other tribes. So one would want to ask, why are other Kenyans taking their kids to school? So those are some of the lamentations, Honorable Speaker, that we are seeing in the streets. And I'm happy that the President was able to listen to some of those grievances. And it is important also, Honorable Speaker, to note that even the budget is skewed to favor some cronies, some royalists. You find some members of parliament allocating themselves billions of money in their constituencies for development. This one, Honorable Speaker, has segregated, has made some parts of this country look like they are not in this country. I come from Tharaka County, Honorable Speaker, and there are constituencies for that matter. And I know exactly what I'm saying. So, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans put this government in power with great expectations and remained so that their lives maybe could remain better. But of course, the intentions could have been very good. But of course, Honorable Speaker, up to now, those of us who frequent their localities every weekend, you bear me witness that we face a lot of problems with our mothers, with our fathers, with our common rural folk, seeking for school fees, seeking for medication, seeking for any sort of assistance from those who are elected. It is not something, Honorable Speaker, that we can manage. This one displays some serious levels of inequality in the society. This is not Kenyans really expected once when they went into elections. Honorable Speaker, we chose, after forming the government, we chose to reward friends and loyalties instead of competence in some cases, Honorable Speaker.